Welcome to Document Management Tips, Tricks, and Best Practices, brought to you by the Operations Council, the IT Executives Council, and the Controllers Council. My name is Neil Brown, CEO of Executive Councils. And before we get started with our presenters, let me share some brief housekeeping tips. First, we'll have 4 polling questions, so please use your GoToWebinar control panel to answer polls so that you can benchmark your peers. And next, a link to this presentation will be sent to you in the next 24 hours, so no need for notes or screenshots. And last but not least, we'll have Q&A at the end of the presentation. So again, please use your control panel to ask questions. And we'll get to as many as possible by the top of the hour. So with that, I'm very pleased to introduce our partner and sponsor, WorkHero, an award-winning intelligent document management system that combines email capture, e-signatures, and seamless collaboration in one intuitive platform. Designed for businesses that work closely with customers and third parties, WorkHero ensures that all interactions, approvals, and documents are automatically saved and classified, eliminating manual effort and reducing risk. Learn more at workhero.com. And with that, I'm also very pleased to introduce our subject matter experts, Saf Ahmed and Chris Muir. Saf Ahmed is Senior Business Development Manager at WorkHero, and Chris Muir is VP at WorkHero with 25 years of tech industry experience, including startups to global enterprises. Saf and Chris, welcome. With that, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you, Neil. Can you hear me okay? Just a quick mic check.
Yes.
Brilliant. So I think first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. Due to some technical issues, my colleague Chris Muir he has control of the slide deck today, but we'll both be talking through it. So you may hear me say next slide a few times in order to help Chris move the slides along for us today. So we'll get straight into it, right? Unlocking NetSuite's full power, So, you're using NetSuite to run your operations, but can it see all your quotes, signed contracts, and teams collaborating outside of the main ERP system? I guess that's the real question today, and that's the challenge we help our customers solve. ERP systems, by their very nature, are great at tracking what is happening in a structured manner, but there's a lot of unstructured processes that happen alongside it, right? Things like documents, emails, collaboration, Teams, chatter, etc. A lot of unstructured work going on alongside it. And our customers often say we've spent years, decades, utilizing software to drive structure. How can we bring the unstructured data into our structured processes? Hopefully we can touch on some of that today and give everyone some ideas. So if we can move on to the next slide, Chris. Brilliant. So just a quick brief overview of the agenda today. We've done the introductions. We'll cover the learning objectives for today before moving on to helping people understand how can we understand where we are. What's our business maturity level when it comes to our unstructured data? How is that impacting our workflows? How low maturity blocks business goals, and then we'll move into the classic folder illusion. We're all used to using folders to store documents, right? We'll just touch on that slightly before looking what to look and before going into what to look for in solving this challenge. The bit we won't be able to do today is a live demonstration due to technical problems, but after the after this webinar, if anybody would like a demonstration, please do let us know, and we're happy to arrange that afterwards before finishing off with the Q&A. Thanks, Chris. So the learning objectives today, right? So we're going to cover how to gain a clear framework to identify your documents, document management maturity stage, and understand how operations and compliance implications of staying in the current way. Uncover the document and approval gaps, slowing down your quote-to-cash, procure-to-pay, record-to-report cycles, and even with a well-configured NetSuite setup. Then we'll move on to learning how disconnected systems and manual handoffs increase audit workload, weaken controls, and introduce compliance blind spots. What we're hoping to uncover here is everything's great when the process runs smoothly, but what happens when we have to break the chain in order to do something that is out of the norm? How does that open us up to compliance and risk? And then finally, we'll go on to how we can visualize the ROI and see how operations teams are embedding document workflow systems directly into their NetSuite system to improve visibility, control, and measurable efficiency across departments. And finally, we'll touch with some benchmarking against top performers today as well. So you can see how your operations stack up compared to your peers and competitors. We'll pass over to Neil for the first poll for today.
All righty, let's launch this poll. Which of these best describes your current document management setup? Select one of the following. So please take a few seconds to answer, and all answers are confidential, anonymous, and we'll have some good benchmarking to discuss as this relates to the presentation as well. Got some smart people in the audience. They're voting very fast.
That's useful.
And voting is slowing down to a trickle. So let's close and share results. So number one is SharePoint box archive, manual email filing, basic search 55%, followed by local storage, no version control, no audit trails at 23, and some automation, but approvals and tasks still manual at 14. And then emails, tasks, docs, auto capture and file at NetSuite 9%. And then AI, classified docs, mobile access 0. So, any thoughts on this, gentlemen?
Yeah, thanks, Neil. I think this very much aligns with what we see when we talk to our customers directly, that kind of bottom end of the maturity scale that we're going to talk about in a second captures the vast majority of people, and there aren't many people at the top end where solutions like ours are really pushing the envelope on what is there. So yeah, really interesting results. I think they validate a lot of what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, well, I'll hide those results. Back to you.
Thanks, Neil. So yeah, so just moving on to the next slide there, Chris, please. Brilliant. So yeah, so as Chris suggested, and as the poll showed, businesses are slowly moving across the maturity scale and becoming more and more mature. But how do we visualize that, right? It's just documented emails. Some of it's things we've been doing because it's the way we've always done things. And some of it is utilizing new technology. And some of it is using processes driven by our ERP, and that's what's moving businesses along the maturity model. Now on the screen, you'll see what we call the document maturity model. It's a big wall of text. Don't try and read it all. It's not majorly important on this particular screen, but it's a great visualization aid. This as businesses move from the left-hand side to the right-hand side of this document. You'll see two dots on the screen, a red and a blue dot. This is what we use in our document management maturity model consultations to help businesses identify where they think they currently are and where they think they would like to be, and how we can benchmark that against your peers. And as we come towards the end of this section of the webinar, I'll give you a quick example of how that document might work. But what I'll do for the next few slides is just break down each of the capabilities on the left-hand side and just give some examples of what level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 might look like in these areas, specifically to people in operations and IT teams. So Chris, if you can move, so